I just want to say a few words. Just a few words, get it all off my chest, and if you guys agree, that's great. If you don't, it's wonderful. Hi guys, I have a gas station soda to get me through this video. This is much different than the first video I posted, but that's just because I'm going to treat this channel like my rant page, my diary, because as quiet as I am on very important social matters, I have a lot to say, and I think these are going to be very interesting for everyone to hear. This world is very angry, and it always has been, to be quite honest, but with the rise of social media, it has been increasingly more angry, and it's not like I'm saying we all should stop fighting or we all should stop voicing our opinions, because I'm about to do the same thing. But I can't scroll on Instagram for more than a second without seeing someone fight. The more I find myself scrolling, the more I find myself going into the comments to see if I see things that I agree with. I leave the comments almost every time very uncomfortable and very like I wasted my time. I believe social media can be used for very great things. It's been used to make great social change. But I see a lot of Christian content, which is fine because I am a Christian. But I also hear this all the time. The LGBTQ plus community is shoving it down our throats. But then the same people go on the Instagrams and the TikToks and the Twitter liking posts that have those words in them and wondering why it's popping up on their algorithm. They don't know how the algorithm works. They're like, oh, I can't get a break. There's a button called the not interested. Now, the same thing goes for the other side, you know. They're always like, Christians are always trying to do everything, blah, blah, blah. I'm so sick of seeing this. Press the not interested. Stop posting about it. When you post about it, you're telling Instagram, I kind of like this stuff because I'm talking about it. So Instagram's like, okay, baby girl, I got you. I'm going to send you some more. That's stupid. These two sides are constantly bickering at each other while everyone else is just watching, like, it's just exhausting to see because it's embarrassing, really, because they're both acting so infantile towards each other. You feel like you're back in elementary school. So I'm trying to train my brain to stop clicking the comments because it's just ridiculous, and I just feel like I'm watching a Disney Channel show. Another thing that I just can't stand is when people are incredibly sensitive. Now, before you come at me, because you either know me personally and you know that I am a very sensitive person, or you're just ready to come at me anyway based on things I've said. Okay. Those cat videos where everyone is like animal abuse, but now people have made it a joke. That's fine, you know. It was ridiculous, the amount of people calling things animal abuse. The thing is we're so sensitive to everything but the things we should be sensitive about, you know? Like, I find it so wrong that everyone is freaking out about a cat being swaddled. But then we just sit back and ignore, you know, constant crap of, I don't know, Instagram not taking down sex bots everywhere. You know, I have so many fans on Instagram. I have so many followers. And they all like my stories. And so I go check my stories and, well, I just see big boobs every time. And I'm like, that's so great. So I go to Instagram and I go to report it because, I don't really want to see that. It's not really in my peak of interest. So I go do that, and they say, what's wrong? And I say, well, this is nude and wrong and spam. Everything against your guidelines. And they say, we'll get back to you. And then the next day, or a couple days later, I get another report that says, we actually found nothing wrong with that. So I don't know what you were saying. Please, like, you could block them if you want. And I'm like, Instagram is not stupid. It knows kids are on there. It knows, even if they have an age requirement, they know kids can just lie. So the fact that they let this happen is ridiculous. It means they want it to happen because they have the power to take all of them down like that, but they won't. And so I find it hard to believe that they are not doing that on purpose. Everyone is so focused on fighting, getting their word out, and being right, and also not being offensive, and, you know, making sure everyone knows they're beautiful, that we're like neglecting what is actually important. And as you can see, I'm drinking out of a plastic straw right now. The amount of people I see freaking out over people ordering food, getting stuff they need to do, that happens to not be biodegradable, it's ridiculous. I don't want to drink my straw. I want to drink the soda inside of my cup. So I don't see the point in the whole cardboard straw thing, the paper straw thing. It's awful. I have metal straws, I will say. I like metal straws. They're nice, and they also they look cooler. They're very aesthetically pleasing. But it wasn't for the sole purpose of, I'm gonna save the turtles, because we all know who is responsible for polluting this earth that we live on. It's the big corporations. And are they going to stop? Answer, riddle me that. When has big corporations ever been on our side? Yes, they can change their icon for June or Black History Month or any of that. They can change their icons, they can make their commercials, but they don't care. They don't, and they never did. So there's no point in being like, well, we can help. No, you using a metal straw is severely outnumbered by the amount of, you know, chemicals that they're using that they shouldn't. I mean, if you saw that video of someone bomb testing in the middle of the ocean, everyone was concerned about this marine life. They do not care. I'm not going to get on the subject of climate change, but they don't care. And it's depressing, and it is sad, but it is true. And they have never cared. They will claim to care, but they never have. And growing up, I was very aware of this my entire life. I don't think I'm any more special than anybody else. You know, I don't really care. If anyone is still watching, that's great. I'm just ranting myself because I feel like you consume so much media over time that sometimes you need to get this stuff out. And like, the comments are crazy. I have curly hair. You can see I have curly hair. I have mixed with black and I have mixed with white. So I get this hair. Right. More in this comment section. Someone would be like, my curly hair routine. And the comments are like, you don't have curly hair. You're white. Why does she have braids? She's white. You know, I know where they're coming from. They've explained it dozens and dozens of times. But I don't think they realize tying your hair back was not reserved for African Americans. They weren't. And I don't think people realize they just want to follow, they want to save someone so bad. I'm not going to say specifically who wants to save people so bad, but it's a specific group of people that constantly want to, you know, be the big heroine for everyone. Like, they can help themselves. If they have a problem, let them have a problem. But most of the time, some people will fight against something for another specific group of people when that specific group of people doesn't care. So it's just like, what are you fighting for? You have a savior complex. Admit it. You have a savior complex. I saw a video where a guy was dressed in a sombrero and that classic Hispanic Mexican, in his case, costume. And all the white girls and the college students were mortified. They were like, "You can't do that. That's just disrespectful." He goes up to, farmers markets, and he goes to the Hispanic people over there, and he says, "Do you like my outfit? Do you like my costume?" And they're all very happy with it because he's not making fun of it. Cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation are two different things, and people think just because you are wearing something that a race created or a culture created means you're racist. Unless you're burning it or, doing horrible things while in that costume, what is the issue? And, I've always had mixed kid syndrome. I never really had a culture to stick to. I have Cracker Barrel, even though I've never been. I have KFC, I've been there. I have Popeyes. I have all the stereotypical things. I love watermelon. But I also, let's see, what's a white thing? I love Dr. Pepper. In a lot of ways, I'm a very basic white girl. But also in a lot of ways, I'm a very basic black woman as well. So, being as mixed as I am, I feel like I'm allowed to express my frustrations with both groups of people. And I don't know. I don't really know what else to say about that. I'm going to be a senior in a couple of days. So that means I am almost out of school, out of the school system. I am almost my own person. I am going to be 18 in February, which means I can vote. Am I going to? No. Now, before you get mad again, because I'm sure it's been up and down throughout this entire video, I respect the place I live in. I am very grateful for the opportunities it has given me, but I don't agree with any of these people, and if I don't agree with someone, I'm not going to vote. I don't have to vote. It is a right I was given, but it does not mean I have to execute that right at all. It's overwhelming. It's too much, and if the agenda wants a certain person in power, well, he's getting in power. I say he because most of the time it's he. Like, if someone wants something to happen, it will happen. It does not matter whether I click yes or no, or I sign yes or no.